Any realtor who gets told, I think my house is worth X, and they ask them, how did you come up with that price? You've now given someone who's not the expert the ability to justify information that you're gathering that will not help you. Use the words at least. Do not ask someone, do they have time? Do you have time later to meet up with? Everyone in the world will say no to you. So watch this. Brandon, hey, let's say there are things I can't teach in the next 5 minutes and they will change your life in your communication. Would that at least be worth 10 minutes to get on a call later? Everyone in America likes learning things in threes, all right? So if you do these 3 things, folks, in your conversations, you're going to elevate your chances of the outcome you want.
We're excited today to have Jamie Miller, who is a communication expert. Jamie's got some stuff to teach us today about how to communicate effectively, how to communicate strategically, to win more clients, to win more conversations. So Jamie, I'll let you take it from there.
Okay, great. All right. So I'm not going to share slides, guys, and but everyone can write in the chat, like in the comments, I take it, that are listening in?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead and write in the chat, guys, if you have questions.
Okay, guys. So obviously in communication, we're going to have 2-way conversations, right? We're going to be interactive with an actual human being. We're not in the world of AI, ChatGPT, robots physically in front of us at this point in life. So if we're going to make this human, you can just type in yes or what have you. If you can monitor, Brandon, what's going on, great. Before I get started teaching communication, how many of you, like me, on this platform do believe your ability to communicate is critical for what you do? All right. And if you're all typing in yes, I know that we've got some life the other end. All right. And instead of Brandon coming up with all the answers here for everyone, before I start teaching communication, just humor me. What benefits do you guys get by being better in your communication? So what benefits do you get being better in your communication before I share anything? And Brandon, are there people maybe typing, I'll get more clients?
We've got people typing, and we're on a just a couple of second delay. So yes.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah.
All right. So, here's what's interesting. Usually at this point, if I'm on a stage speaking, I would ask the group, hey, do you have to know a bunch of things about me to have faith that I must know what I'm talking about in communication? Or do we all have faith in Brandon and the agent bridge for me coming along that I must be an expert in my field? And then most people will say, oh, I have complete faith in the agent bridge, all right, because of the stellar information that you always serve up. So I'm going to make this a lesson for you guys. One of the amateur plays that people do in communication is the overshare. All right, so my first communication play, if we're going to talk to someone, is the last thing you want to be starting out with is these words. Hey, let me start by telling you. Let me start by telling you all about myself and all the glorious things that my brokerage can do for you. Because if you're doing that play, guys, you're doing all the talking. If I ask who do we want to be doing the talking, and I get you guys are on a lag, so we're just going to go through this where you can answer questions to me. We're on a lag. It's all good. I'm not going to hesitate and pause for 15 seconds per time to wait for a response, if that's okay with you guys.
Jamie, we do have a couple queued up if you want to hear them.
Go for it.
Building a good foundation, attracting more business, and better relationships and better level of understanding. So
great.
Yeah. And Amanda says, lasting relationship. Lasting relationship. So I think that's what people are looking for.
So if I asked everyone on this platform, do you all agree with those answers? If they're saying yes, we're on a good page together.
Yeah,
all right?
Absolutely.
And Brandon, you've seen me do this before, but I'm going to teach you guys, the people on here today, how you can ask a question of someone that gets them sharing everything you can do for them without telling them anything. All right, from the very get-go. So rather than start with the words, let me start by telling you, all right, we want the client doing all the talking in a sale. So to try and make this 30 minutes really sexy and exciting for everyone in America likes learning things in threes, all right? So if you do these 3 things, folks, in your conversations, you're going to elevate your chances of the outcome you want. First one, I call it gathering information. Real simple concept, gather information. What that means is we're asking questions of someone but we're going to ask really good questions. I'm going to give you examples today where realtors are asking the worst question on the planet, and they're not going to gather information that helps them. The second thing I call it is garnering understanding. No one in the world likes to be sold. Nobody. Yet if you can get the person in front of you to feel this sense of, I would be doing the same exact thing as you right now, they won't feel sold. All right. So it's called garnering understanding.
Mhm.
The third thing I like to call is predictability. If I share, and just curious on the reaction in the thing, all right, if I share, guys, my former British self, I've been told I'm a very charming, charismatic person. I've been told I can swear. It sounds polite. I won't swear during this half an hour. All right. Brandon laughs. All right. Now, everyone with Brandon, whether I hear you or you type in emojis, I'm now a proud American. Yay, America.
Hey, congratulations. That's awesome.
I even drink coffee and I own a truck. All right. Yay. Now, guys, that's the third thing. So you've got the gathering information, you've got the garnering understanding. Everyone witness. The third thing is called predictability. It's when you know when you say something, what reaction you're going to get. Would you believe, everyone, that every time I say I'm a proud American, I drive a truck, I know I get a Brandon in front of me laughing, we're in sync with each other. We're not stand-up comedians, but guys, can you see? I call it the Golden Girl strategy. All right. It's something that you can repeat for yourself in front of people, knowing that you're vibing with the right kind of person. Are you guys, just with a lag on, are you guys enjoying this stuff so far? Because I've still got tons more.
I mean, I know I am. And everybody here, we're getting some laughing emojis. Somebody says they're celebrating with you about your being American. So yeah, that's great.
Okay, but guys, I hope you realize I'm doing that on purpose, consciously, to get the reaction so I know I'm dealing with the right kind of people. All right. I'm also going to let you know a tip that I don't usually share, Brandon. You've never heard me share this before. The hardest thing to do in communication, is, especially on stage, is to not react when you don't get a reaction. So if I said to the group here, hey guys, did you guys not drink your coffee this morning? Has someone died? Here's what means that it's a bad thing. Here's what that means I'm doing in communication. It means I'm fishing for an energy that's not there. All right. So as an elevated level 400 sales lesson, anytime you don't get a reaction from someone, praise them for it. Right? We all love words of affirmation. We all love praise. I never invented that concept. But if, let's say, Brandon's giving me no love, no reaction, I'll be like, Brandon, I have to say, well done. He'll look perplexed. I'm like, you have to be successful. Have to be. The most successful people I ever come across, they're just the most observant and poker faced. All right. And now how many, Brandon, just help me out, are successful people poker faced? All right. They're very just observant and listening.
Yes.
For those of people who want a luxury listing, they're going to have to get at ease with not fishing for an energy that's not there, because the person won't want to feel sold. Just as a tip.
I've seen this before, especially like if I've gone to a concert, it's music and stuff. And the person that's doing the concert says, hey, whatever energy you guys are going to give me, right, I'm going to give it right back to you. And then it's like, well, wait, hang on. Why is this on me? And I'm thinking like the great performers don't ask for that energy because they know they're going to deliver it, right? They know they're going to get it, right? And so whenever I see a performer do that, I go, oh, you've already kind of killed it.
They'll start feeling sold. They will,
yeah.
Like if you do that, which is not a positive.
Right.
Now, like in terms of time frame, I've got a few ideas. Just so you know, the question that you want to start your dialogue with, guys, and I've helped men get dates online doing this too. It doesn't matter what the situation. I've got my parents to get their kids to eat broccoli doing this play. The one-off question, instead of starting with, let me start by telling you, just say this. Hey, just before I share anything, just some people have done their research. What benefits did you come up with to meet specifically with me as a realtor today? And I promise you guys, you will hear the most random of answers, and you're steering that conversation in the best direction and you're gathering the right information. You can absolutely talk yourself out of business. So watch this as an example. If I turn around, I'm like, hey, just out of curiosity, if you like me, you value time. Some of my listing clients that I get, they always tell me like the most random things, all right, about where they what was beneficial. Before I share anything about myself, what benefits did you come up with for meeting specifically with me? And they'll say, oh, Jamie, you're not aware of this. We already know the Joneses down the street, and they already told us how wonderful you were. All right. Now I can transition very easily. I'll be like, okay, so I can take it you're already confident with me listing your home at this present moment. You don't have to know anything else. And they might say, no, we're all good. Now watch this. Let's say I go into that same couple. I'm like, hey, let me start by telling you a bunch of things. All right. Could I talk myself out of that business and then be like, I don't see what the Joneses saw in this person. All right. So sometimes you have the business before you even get started. Ask what benefits are in it before I share. You'll surprise yourself. So hopefully people in the chat are liking that as a play.
Absolutely.
Usually I'll show slides. I think this is important, building rapport. All right. If I go to Brandon's text messages between me and him, all right, over the thing, he goes Jamie dash. All right. I go Brandon dash. All right. Like if he says hello, I'm saying hello. If he says hi, I'm saying hi. Guys, if you want to elevate your conversion, it's a very subliminal, subtle play. You've probably learned mirroring. This is mirroring an extreme level where the person will be like, I don't know why this person seems to get me more than others. If someone uses the word children to you, don't use the word kids. All right. I'm not telling you change your complete personality, but this will absolutely elevate your conversion. If you spend your life ever calling people up, expired listings, wait for them to answer the phone first. That's a terrific play where it's very subtle. But if they say hi and you're like, hello, they're like going to be like, I am a bit more alien to this concept. The only thing, and this will get a laugh from you, I have clients where they send me black hand emojis. I am not sending them black hand emojis back. All right. So
yeah,
again, Golden Girls predictability play.
Right.
All right. I'm going to teach a couple of questions. One to stay away from, one to definitely do. Okay. Realtors get told by a seller all the time, I think my house is worth X. And then every realtor I come across, I say, what do you ask them? They're like, how'd you come up with that price? Any realtor who gets told, I think my house is worth X, and they ask them, how did you come up with that price? You've now given someone who's not the expert the ability to justify information that you're gathering that will not help you. All right. So can you understand? They're going to tie it to some credit card debt they've got. They want to get wiped out. All right. As a result of, or so-and-so down the street sold it for this when the comparisons aren't completely accurate. Basically, guys, you do not want to be asking questions you don't want the answer to. Is that a pivotal lesson, Brandon? Like for
absolutely.
everyone?
Yeah. And it's one of those things that I mean, I can admit I've done that before because I'm going, okay, well, tell me how you came up with that number. But you're right. It usually doesn't lead anywhere good. Right. Because what I'm doing is I'm trying to be like, hey, listen, you didn't come up with any real data, but obviously that's going to put them on the defensive. Right. And it's going to give me an answer that I don't want.
I think that's the key is the whole energy is now playing defense on that number rather than just having an open and honest discussion about what it should be.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when Brandon's Factory of Kids, they do something naughty and Brandon turns around and says, why did you do that? What were you thinking? He's not going to like the answer, guys. All right, to that. So there are better questions you can ask at that moment. Now, you guys are really going to love me. How many of you are struggling in the Nashville or wherever these people are from with this whole NAR thing? I'm going to teach you guys a leading question that will help you. All right. Yeah. And the question we start our conversations with are pivotal. I'll give you an example. If my daughter came up to me and says, Dad, I want a cell phone. I'm like, no, Ruby, your brother didn't get one till he was 12. If my daughter comes up to me and starts out the conversation, Dad, do you care about my safety? We're going to have a very different conversation and outcome for her. So watch this, guys. When you are trying to negotiate with another agent on the other side, how about starting your dialogue with this? Hey, are you like me? Do you like win-win situations in life? And if someone says no to you on that front, run away from them. All right? So the point being is you're starting your dialogue on the right scenario. Hey, do you like win-win situations? It's a great lead in. I hope you guys are going to get pieced together the importance of that question absolutely. In your negotiation with the time I have.
And let me just say this. If you guys have questions while we're going through this, please drop them in the chat box and we're going to have a Q&A portion of this. And but yeah, Jamie, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're wanting to ask questions that you know the answers to, and then also wanting to sort of set the stage. And that's what I'm seeing you doing, is like setting the stage for a productive conversation that's leading somewhere.
Correct. So every conversation you go into, it's not, okay, I'm going to preface, it is not manipulation. And I repeat that, it's not manipulation. Here's the deal. Are they going to be selecting someone to sell their home? Yes. The mere fact you're better in your communication, you're ethical in the services you provide with good integrity, is it okay that you give yourself a higher advantage than other people going for the same business?
Absolutely.
I believe so. So why not ask the questions you want the answer to that steer towards you? Earlier on, you guys might not have noticed this, but I use body language. What specifically made you think beneficial with me? All right. The more specific the question we ask with body language, better. If I want people to nod their head yes, I'm like, hey, who you choose as a realtor is very important. All right. They're going to be nodding their head yes. I'm like, the mere fact you nod your head yes, you get it. All right. Even though I made them do it. All right, from that standpoint. The other question are multiple choice questions. There is no better way to start your questioning out than a multiple choice. Here's how I'll share. In your world, you're asked, what commission do you charge, right? Especially with buyers for the NAR stuff. What commission do you charge? If you just share my commission is X, they're going to be like, yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. I'll go and check somewhere else. Watch this, guys. Someone comes up to you and goes, what commission do you charge? On purpose, consciously understanding psychology, you turn around and say, I will absolutely share the commission. Very quickly, do you care just about the commission, or do you also care about the caliber of the realtor you're going with too? Now, if they say just commission, can we all agree we do not want price shoppers who only care about commission in our life? That's not a great client to have.
Right.
But the second they say, well, of course I care about the caliber, just like Brandon just said, I can now take that conversation to the next step, be like, terrific. What would be one characteristic you value more than any others when it comes to choosing a realtor? Now they will answer you. Are you guys? I hope you guys are getting it in terms of the starting point to then where you get to take the conversation. All right.
Yeah, and I think, you know, there's also some brokers on this call as well. And one of the things I was thinking is, like, as a broker, you can say, because that's what agents are doing a lot, is like, hey, what's your split? And then you go, well, hang on. So just real quick before I get to that, what do you value most? What are you looking for in your career? Right.
I've had brokers, Brandon. I've had brokers hire me where the broker, the office branch manager, Jamie, we're going to pay them more money. All right. I don't understand why they're not coming with us. I'm like, yeah, because you're not asking them the right questions. Do they care just about money, or do they also care about the culture that they're joining? There's so many different ways, but it's got to be multiple choice questions. All right. Especially with the commission, you do not want to just share what the commission structure is. Good luck with that. All right. And before I share, so look, I've learned price is irrelevant when you extract value. I'm going to use those words on purpose. Extracting value means I'm asking, what does someone value? I'm not going into a conversation telling them what they should value, if that makes sense to everyone. So, and sometimes you can do group psychology. Watch this. If I'm I'm a financial advisor, all right? And someone they go, what are the fees you charge? I'm like, well, do you just care about the fees, or also the caliber of the financial advisor? They're like, well, there's certain characteristics. I'm like, okay, great. What would be one thing? Some clients tell me their ability to leave a legacy for their kids is so critical. What would be one value you would see in selecting a financial advisor? And do you know what they'll say? Oh my God, Jamie, leaving a legacy for my kids, not realizing I've teed them up for that. And here's why. Can they even put a price on the value of leaving a legacy for their kids? No. So your price becomes irrelevant. I'll do a test and measure for the comments. Hey guys, have any of you learned anything from me yet at this point? I've still got more. I'm going to answer questions. Have any of you learned anything from me yet? All right. Is anyone writing yes?
They will be as soon as the lag catches.
Yeah, as soon as the lag. I'm gonna.
Yeah. But they will be. Yeah.
Okay.
I know I have. I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, I'm like, okay, wait, I'm just like looking at, where do I need to incorporate that? in my pitch in the conversations, because yeah, I've taken tons of nuggets from this.
Okay, so watch this. The second someone goes yes, all right, I get to say, would you believe there's way more? They'll say yes. I'm like, well, like some clients say it's priceless. What value would you place on being better in your communication, low or really high? And they'll go, oh my God, Jamie, it is priceless. I'm like, okay, do you believe I can help you? Yes. My pricing is irrelevant. Why? Because people are spending fortunes on college or more money on things than what the investment is. So you can connect the dots for people. In the real estate space for you guys, you can do the same thing. And then before I open out to questions, there's two words, actually 3 words I'm going to help you out with. When you're doing a phone call to someone, guys, the only thing you want to sell is a meeting in the near future. Use the words at least consciously in your dialogue. Do not ask someone, do they have time? It's too broad of a question. Do you have time later to meet up with? Everyone in the world will say no to you. I'm watching a show on Netflix, whatever's more important. Mm-hmm. So watch this. Brandon, hey, let's say there are things I can't teach in the next 5 minutes and they will change your life in your communication. Would that at least be worth 10 minutes to get on a call later?
Absolutely.
So even if you said no first off, now using the words at least in your dialogue, your guys are going to elevate your chances of getting the meeting. The question is, let's say I can do this. Would it at least be worth this? What you're not saying is, I would like, because they don't care when you use the words I want. The other word that I used earlier, and Brandon smiled, incorporate the word yet. I even stress on the word. Incorporate the word yet. I called it the sweetest little word into your sales. Halfway through a meeting, just turn around to someone and say, have you heard everything you need to hear from me yet? To feel confident, to list your home with me. They might surprise you and say, yes, we have. And you then get to say, the next step's very simple. I call it a seamless call to action. Here's what's sweet about the word yet. No, you haven't. That's still terrific. What would be one thing specifically that you would want to hear right now so you can feel that sense of confidence? It doesn't end your dialogue. And for any of you who are going to do self-therapy throughout the year, the word yet can become really helpful, where if you say, I've not reached my goals for 2025, that's negative. Add the word yet on the end and see how quickly your psyche changes. All right, I've still got X amount of time. And then I always say the most powerful word on the planet is the word believe. All right, believe. You want to, if you're struggling to ask for business, use the word believe consciously. Do you believe that I can get your home sold? All right. And you want an emphatic yes from them. And I'm feeling particularly, generous. All right. I'm going to teach you guys neuro-linguistic programming right now. All right. It's high level. Use this ethically. All right. Okay. If you've got a buyer and you're showing them a home, the more they hear the word buy, the more inclined they're going to buy something. Now, ethically, let's say someone like Bob is my buyer, all right? And I'm like, hey, Bob, just so you know, I listened to you. I found a house that checks off every box that you told me about, all right? By at the end of walking around this home, you're going to see that. Hey, by the way, do you remember when you shared this with me, all right, about this? Did you see by the kitchen where you can put the dog stand stuff that you're talking about? Hey, by chance, Bob, have you had a chance to look outside, all right, and see the landscaping that we discussed? Hey, by now, Bob, you're seeing this home fits everything you wanted. The first buy they're hearing, guys, is buy at the end. So you're programming the brain, they're going to buy something at the end. The last buy they hear is buy now. Now, again, that was just a bit of fun. Obviously, I don't have all the time in the world, but just with the lag, have you guys thoroughly enjoyed this morning? Has it been a unique twist, fresh take on some communication skills for any of you?
Yeah. And Tasha says she loves the lead-in questions regarding the win-win. And she can say, like, I can use that in a ton of scenarios. Amanda is asking about, she wants to get to know and develop a relationship with the agent before she gets into a showing. And, a lot of times, I guess the agents will kind of will blow them off. Right. And I think probably for Amanda, she's thinking like, hey, the better we go into this, the better we get into negotiations, that things are going to go better. So we're trying to kind of strike up a friendship. And she said, well, what do I do if the agent's just not really being responsive, kind of blowing me off?
Okay, so there's a few different plays, obviously, but like I'm just going to share some knowledge, and you guys pick it up the way that I do it. So first off, you could do the "if you were me" play. All right, I've had 8 realtors who got hung up on and left a message saying, "Hey, I get that you think I might be some kind of salesperson. There was something I didn't get a chance to share yet before you hung up on me. Just curious, if you were me and someone did da 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 da, and you knew you could help, would you be thinking XYZ? All right." And if they read it all, they're gonna, like, he got a call. I've got an actual voice message where the person responded, "Hey Deontay, I'm so sorry. I was running late. Please give me another chance. Thank you for calling me on my," I said I wouldn't swear, but they swore. "All right, please give me another chance whenever you decide." All right. And I've used "if you were me." I have people reaching out to me from last Thursday's talk, and they reach out to me. I reach out to them. I don't hear anything. So I do the, "Hey, am I having a natural thought? Am I an alien from a far off planet? Or are my feet firmly on Earth to think that we should be engaging in a conversation? All right, question mark." And then they write that, "Jamie, no, you're thinking straight. I've just been super busy." And they apologize. Sorry. All right.
Right.
I hope you guys are liking this stuff. And then there's a third play. Have any of you ever seen the movie Swingers? I'm an old man, but there's a movie called Swingers with John Favreau.
Vince Vaughn. Yeah, Vince Vaughn and John Favreau. Yeah.
Okay, guys, do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube, type in Swingers voicemail scene. As long as your client has a personality, send them the clip. It's 3 minutes, 39 seconds in length. Send them the clip of it and attach the words to this. "I hope this is not how I'm coming across to you." All right. And they will watch this desperate attempt for a guy to get a date with a girl. All right. And they will laugh and they'll reach out to you within 10 minutes after watching it. "Oh, it's not you, it's me." Like, and they'll have cracked up emojis. It's part of that predictability play.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one more play. RL. RL, entertain me for a moment, but you've got to do this very quick. Say milk 3 times really fast.
Milk, milk, milk.
What do cows drink? Quick.
Milk.
Okay, so we got that captured. Is this recorded? Because RL just said milk, cows drink water. I'm about to teach you guys a higher level play in neuro-linguistic programming. When the brain hears 3 facts in a row, it will typically take the next thing that comes out your mouth as factual. So if you're meeting someone, "Hey, you're on the phone on Monday, you shared this, I'm now at your home, so naturally you believe that I can absolutely get your home sold." Their brain's going to go, "We did do that, we did do that, we did do that." It can't suddenly go, "No, wait," to the last part. All right. If you're writing someone, "Hey, we spoke on air, you said this, then you did this, I may have a natural thought that we should be connecting again." If they take the time to read it, they can't say that doesn't make any sense to them. So I hope you're enjoying that as a factual play. RL, thanks for being a good sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, just to kind of to build on Meta, by the way, we are in the Q&A, so feel free to ask any questions. Jamie, are you good on time right now?
I think you know me enough by now to know I don't book anything back to back. So I can
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, but basically, I think, a lot of times these deals, when we get to fall apart, not even in the client situation, but when you're talking to the other agent, because what I've noticed, or as I've been doing this a long time, agents get very defensive for their clients. And so one of the strategies that I've been employing is separating the agent from their client in terms of, in terms of a conversation, and saying, it's like, "Hey, tell me about, where are your clients kind of wanting to land, on this deal." Right. And I don't know if that's the right strategy or not, but I just know that in negotiation, that's where a lot of these things can kind of fall apart. So I'd love to hear some stuff from you on that.
Okay, so I call it using these words. It can get you upgrades on airplanes. It can get you into gyms around the country for free. And it's simple. It's called, the words are, "Has this ever happened for you?" So I'll give you an example of how I use it. I go into a gym where there's not a place in the country, there's not a crunch gym. So I'll go to Nashville and I'll work out a True Fit. And I'll walk up to the front, to the counter. It could be 5 a.m. in the morning. "Hey, mate, I'm just curious. Has this ever happened for you? You ever gone traveling and you go to a gym that you've never worked out at before? And as you go in, the person behind the counter ends up being the most friendliest person of all time. And they go and ask you how long you're in town for. And you tell them 2 days. And they say, go ahead. It's pretty nice when that happens, right? And then they're like, I'm like, "Oh, great. You'll appreciate me. I'm Jamie. I'm visiting from Florida." And they chuckle and they're like, dude, how long are you in town for? I'm like, 2 days. They're like, go ahead. All right. Why? I've made it about them first. So as if I'm a buyer's agent, I'm Amanda or whatever, and I'm talking to another person, I'm going to start with, hey, has this ever happened for you? What are the chances it has happened for them? Has this ever happened for you? You've gone into an interaction with the other agent, and it's just been the smoothest, most glorious thing. You get on the same page. You're both trying to do what's best for your clients, and you come to this most glorious, amicable of situations, and you just want to keep doing business with these people again. Are you guys getting the point? You're making it. Yeah. Has this happened for you? Great. You can do it with the. Hey, has this ever happened for you? Have you ever been? Ariel, have you ever been ghosted?
Many times.
All right. Does that suck, or do you actually enjoy it?
It sucks.
It sucks. Okay. Can we make a promise here that we won't do that? So if I do write you on behalf of my client, the very least you'll get back to me, right? That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay, have I proactively set up that that's not going to happen? And if it happens, I now get to be less reactive. Hey, do you remember when we spoke and you shared about the ghosting situation? All right. Now that you're going to be like, oh, I'm totally apologetic. It's less reactive. The more proactive you are in what you want from the negotiations, the more chance you have of getting it.
We've got a question from Manda who's asking if you have a book that you recommend. She wants to learn these techniques, or the better question is like, how do we connect with you further past this?
Okay, Brandon, I think you've known me well enough to know that I used to be in the thousands of dollars and do very intimate coaching. All right. All right. Have any of you ever had in life where you've been told something so many times it takes a moment to believe it? Like my girlfriend, I'll tell her she's beautiful. She's like, I think you need glasses, because she's not believing what I'm telling her. I've been told too much I need to be a gift for the whole world. So as of January, I started the Legacy platform. People can have me for less than $800 for a lifetime of coaching. The reason I know I'm doing it right is because people are like, is that a monthly? I'm like, no, one-time investment. Less than $800, you get me a lifetime. If you can't afford $797, I've made it broken up into payments for 10 months of $79.70. I didn't have an option like this in the past. Do or don't do it, guys. I just know I'm looking to be a gift for legacies and have people invite all their kids. So even Brandon, as long as the kid is of an age, I can coach. Brandon could invite all his kids and learn everything from me in life on how to communicate for less than $800. So now that I've shared that, Brandon, I would like to believe that's better than a book that sits on a shelf after reading 10% of it.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me see if it's a no-brainer. The person who posed that question, can you clearly see that having me share for everything I know in life, that investing less than $800 is a no-brainer, like a lot of the people are finding out there? And then I'll wait for the lag for the response.
Yeah, she hasn't responded yet, but I know she's going to say yes. And we're going to put, a link in
just so you know too, I'm going to share, it's about people. Last year, my goal was time. I worked 88 hours last year. Now I'm making my life about people. It's purpose driven. It's how can I help millions of people in the world? And if I can be vulnerable, this is the most logical, simple way that I felt I could go about it.
And I love this. You're right. You made a major shift, which has just been huge for so many people. So we just really appreciate you taking that into consideration and making that shift and making this available. Because I mean, honestly, and I can say this with as a compliment, you're a very expensive coach, right? But people are getting value where they're willing to pay you lots and lots of money, and you've made this available to so many people with this new program.
And if I may share, the actual thing where I get more fulfillment is the people where they actually put their kids in this program, inclusive of, and I'm getting to teach kids how to not be socially anxiety because they've been looking at devices, all right, and trying to maintain the human connection in life. Dale Carnegie, a lot of people talk about books like How to Win Friends, Influence People. The guy's not alive anymore. And now in my own head, I'm like, how do I achieve that in life? But it's taken me 5.5 years, guys, to get to a place where I feel like I can do that. All right. And Brandon happens to be someone who's known my journey a lot more than others. But I am genuinely looking to be a gift to the world. in communication. And that's just my, I mean, I could share stuff that I haven't shared, that I've been invited to speak at the Pentagon on March 6th. There's so many different things I could throw out there in statements, but I would pose it in a question. Like, guys, do you think if I've been invited to speak at the Pentagon, I might know what I'm talking about? I may be an expert in communication. And I'll let that simmer for people. I'm not going to make it as a standalone statement. You know, I'm purposely getting on stages. When Brandon first met me, guys, and this is vulnerability, I was like, hey, how do I get in front of 20 people, 100 people? All right, because I was bringing on small amount. I was working very intimate at very high investment. Now, because I've changed the goalposts on people, I'm now speaking. I've had in the last 5 days 3 talks booked that are thousands of people. One is National Association Mortgage in Vegas at October. One is AIME, all right, which is a mortgage company. Another one I'm being considered for is UWM Live, which is 9,000 people in May. All right, and it's all because I'm purposefully seeking to help the masses. Usually I'll share my phone number at the end of talks. The last talk I did, I had 79 text messages. I can't share my phone number anymore. I've got to go with a different kind of approach to help people. So again, is there any questions where I can leave with abundance and make it a teaching moment for anyone that's left?
And just as we are going to leave the, we'll put a link in the comments so that you guys can, learn more about Jamie, learn how to get into Jamie's program.
How many people are on right now, Brandon?
We've got about just 20. About 20 people on right now.
All right, leave myself. Do me the favor, 20.
Sure. Yeah.
You can put my cell phone number in. I'm still going to have to learn going forward a different approach, but when it's 20 people, I can handle that. If you put my cell phone number in, and if they can just text Agent Bridge or something, so I know that.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll make sure to do that.
That would be helpful.
Absolutely. Well, Jamie, thank you so much, for bringing, you always bring such great value. You always bring such a great strategy. So thank you so much for taking some time to join us today. Again, we're going to put Jamie's information in the comments here so that you guys can log in and learn all of the things that Jamie has to teach coming up. So Jamie, again, thank you so much, man, for taking some time to be with us today. We really appreciate you.
Brandon, thank you. I'm going to be in Nashville, it looks like, in October for an event.
Oh, awesome.
I think it was the 23rd through 25th. I'll confirm with you, but anytime I'm coming, I love Nashville. All right.
Right. So, I know you do.
Anytime we can arrange something where maybe in person, as much as I like being in my studio at home and it's easy, all right, I do love in person. So maybe anyone who's on this platform, they're associated with an event. I'm saying yes to everything at the minute. Just all right, which I wasn't doing last year. Some people tell me I'm being nuts for doing it, but it's whilst I'm 47, 48 to 50, I feel like I can do this stuff daily. So
that's awesome.
Right.
Well, we appreciate your time. And again, you guys can follow Jamie on Instagram at @ConsciousJamie, Jamie Miller on Facebook, and we're gonna put Jamie's phone number in the comments here so you guys can text him the Agent Bridge. Make sure you follow, stay with him. You're gonna learn tons and tons of great stuff. Thank you so much, Jamie.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you. RL, thank you, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.